Girbeagly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Girbeagly, and I'm here with another update video, less of an update video and more of like a quick summary of Indy PopCon, and actually it might not even be quick, I don't know, there was a lot that freaking happened this weekend. It was honestly the best weekend of my life. I can't describe how amazing everything went this weekend. For those of you guys who don't know, I went to Indy PopCon in Indianapolis this weekend, and it was phenomenal. Like, I was blown away by how much support. Like, I gotta go through it like step by step because like I'm getting overwhelmed even just thinking about it. Also, I apologize. I'm like gonna be all over the place. This isn't gonna be super formal because I'm absolutely exhausted. Morgan and I drove for over 10 hours yesterday to get home from Indianapolis back to Western New York where we live, and I'm super tired, but I'm way too full of energy and excited to like not do this video. I have to get these feelings out because I'm super happy right now. You guys can probably tell, but this is the best mood I've been in forever. And there's a lot of reasons for that. So Thursday, Morgan and I left in the morning to go to Indianapolis. Once again, we drove. It was supposed to be like an 8.5-hour drive, and it ended up being a little bit over 10 hours or 9.5 hours or something like that. So it was a really freaking long drive, and we didn't get in late, and our friends were messaging us and they were like, hey, where are you? We're all here in Indianapolis already. We're excited to see you. And every time they did that, like my heart broke a little bit because I was like, oh, I'm missing out time with my friends. And we got in super late, but when we got in, we still managed to go hang out with a bunch of people. Obviously, my good buddy Crank Gameplays, aka Ethan, and my good buddy OG-chan, we got to meet up, and we were with a whole bunch of other people in their hotel room and just hanging out and having a blast, and it was a very chill time. And after that, we all went to bed kind of like early-ish so that we could get ready for the first day of the con on Friday. So Friday rolled around and we got there. We were hanging out with Matt and Ashley. Matt Shea, the YouTuber, for those of you who know him, he's an awesome friend of mine. Really great guy. His fiance Ashley is equally awesome, and they're just so kind to Morgan and I. They're like, I don't know, they're some of the best friends we've ever had because they get the dating aspect, and I'm not trying to like, you know, push away people who are single YouTubers, but like when you have a significant other who travels to you with these things, like it's really cool to spend time with them. Like I met Matt back at PAX East last year in person for the first time, and he didn't have Ashley with him, and you know, we managed to hopefully make him feel like he wasn't the third wheel during that experience, and that was a great weekend. That was like such a good time. And then PAX South in January was also awesome, and that was my favorite con up until this point because it was so laid back and chill, and we got to spend time with everyone. And then Indy PopCon now rolled around, and we got to spend so much time with the two of them and all of the rest of our friends all together as a group, and it was like, I don't know, it was so relaxing, and at the same time it was like so overwhelming because it was the first time I went to a con where I had to do stuff. Like Friday, we didn't do a lot. We had a fan meetup at like 3 o'clock during the afternoon, and we weren't really expecting like a lot of people to show up, but people showed up every single day to those. We had one Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the same time, and every single time we had one, people showed up, and sometimes it was the same people, but mostly we had new people come in every time, and it was really cool to like sign stuff for people in person and say hi and just chat a little bit and have them ask questions and just want to hang out with us for that little designated like 30 minutes or whatever that we stuck around wherever we decided to meet up. It was really, I don't know, it was so cool and casual to have people around and not like, I don't know, like behind a computer screen. It's that live interaction. It's very weird to describe unless you do YouTube, but to have someone talk to you in person and not just through like a Twitch chat or a YouTube comment. It was really cool. So we did that a lot, but Friday morning we got to the con, we got our media badges, and there was like a little bit of a mix up with it at first because we thought we were supposed to get a different kind of badge, but then we ended up with the media badges, but they just told us, you know, we have access to everything with those. We're on the special guest list. So everything worked out fine. We went around, we saw a bunch of the booths before like the general audience got to come into the con, and that was really neat. We met a bunch of people, like other YouTubers, other like celebrity guests who had gotten invited there, and mainly just hung out and met people. Like, a lot of people came up and found us, and just like as they were walking by would be like, oh hey Girbeagly, or hey OG-chan, or hey Crank Gameplays, or whoever else happened to be hanging out with us at the time. They would come over and they would just say hello and ask for signatures and selfies, and that was so cool. And those of you guys who were there to support us in that kind of way, like, I don't know if you guys could tell when you met us, but we were blown away by that. Like, that's so cool to just have someone just shout your name out all of a sudden and want to, like, talk to you and be near you to, like, I don't know, just, like I said, I'm so tired. I can't think of, like, good adjectives and verbs and nouns and stuff right now. I'm really, really tired, but I'm in such a great mood. I'm so invigorated by this trip. But so Friday night, we kind of did that. We hung out with some friends after the con and everything. There wasn't like a ton going on Friday because Saturday is like the big day that everyone does stuff. So Saturday, we got to the con once again, and that was the day that Ethan, G, and I had not only a signing, but we had our very first panel, as you guys know from like one of my previous update videos. But it was insane. Like, so we got on the stage for the signing. And I'm sorry that this is just like one long stream of consciousness, but like I'm trying to remember every detail that happened. But we got to the con and we got on stage for the signing, and we were on stage at the same time as Freddie Wong, who is an excellent YouTuber. For those of you guys who don't know Freddie Wong, he made Rocket Jump and like Video Game High School and all these really, really cool videos on YouTube that are high production value that I've watched for years, and it was awesome because I got to meet him. I got to talk to him for a little bit, as well as like Ninja Sex Party, who, Danny from Game Grumps and Brian from Game Grumps, they do their music thing on the side as Ninja Sex Party, and it's like, it was so cool to just chat with them, like one-on-one, and not have to worry about like tons of people swarming around us or anything like that. Like, because we got like backstage access, which was very cool since we were also guests, and like, it was really, really awesome to talk to those guys. They were all so chill and down to earth, and it just like was a quick reminder that, no matter how big you get on YouTube, you still can remain humble, and you can still appreciate people coming up and just wanting to have a regular conversation with you. And that was just so cool to be a part of. But so we got up on stage, and we, G and Ethan and I had been talking beforehand, and just based on like the response on YouTube and the response on Twitter, we weren't sure how many people were actually going to show up to this thing. And we had a line of people waiting for us to get signatures. Like, never in a million years did we think that we'd have a line of people waiting for us. Like, we thought like maybe we'd have like 4, 5, 6 people show up to the signing, and it was just person after person after person they were sending through. And some of the people were, some of you who we got to meet were crying, like, or shaking, or so nervous to meet us. And meanwhile, we were all sitting there, and we hopefully kept it together from how we looked and laughed and interacted with you guys, but we were freaking out, like, in our heads. We were like, oh my god, we're the nervous ones to meet people who consider themselves fans. And it didn't like feel as real. I mean, it always feels surreal whenever I meet someone who actually watches my videos, but the moment it felt the most real, for me at least, was I had a viewer come up, and you know who you are out there, but you came up and you looked at me and you were like, Girbeagly, how are you enjoying Sakura Dungeon? And I was like, what? Like, not only do you watch my videos, you named a series that like you watch also, that like you like, and that's so weird. It's so strange to think that someone sits down and like looks forward to a specific part of a series of mine, and to hear it in person, because there's only so much that can be conveyed over the internet in like a comment. And I appreciate every single comment I get on my videos. I love that. I love getting tweets from people and things like that. But to have that like moment of live interaction where it's not just like, hey, nice video, it's like someone walking up to me and going, hey, nice video, that was nuts. That was the moment like the glass shattered for me in my brain, and I was like, oh my god, I'm on stage and there's like dozens of people waiting to come up to get my signature. Like, that is so crazy. Oh, also, quick side note, I'm gonna cut away here for a second, but I'm going to grab the poster that we signed for people so that you guys who haven't gotten a chance to see it can see it. Okay, so for those of you guys who didn't see this before over on like Ethan or G's Twitters or Instagrams or things like that, this is our like very special Indy PopCon limited edition poster that an artist named Makori made for us, and she makes amazing art. She's actually making a bunch more art for like my channel and stuff right now. She's very cool. I'll actually link her down below in the description so you guys can check her out, but she's really cool. And it was nuts. Like some people came up and they were like, oh crap, I don't have anything to sign, but I just wanted to get like a picture with you. And we had like a stack of these sitting by us, and I think we printed off like 100 of them or something like that. We ended up giving away most of them during the signing, and it was just so cool. But like, yeah, we each signed on top of our own little picture of ourselves. That's me here in the corner, and it was so cool. It was just so awesome. It was so awesome to see that stuff, and just to have people want to get our signatures, want to take pictures and say hi quick during that signing. So we did that, and then afterwards we had a panel, and we like went to this small panel room. Oh wait, let me backtrack quick. Once again, guys, this isn't going to be a very clean vlog or anything like that. I'm just going all over the place off of memory. But before we did the signing, we actually got invited by this game developer, Happy Badgers, I think is what they go by. I'll put their name somewhere here. Actually, I'll put their name in the description with a link to the game that they made us play. Not made us play, we wanted to play it, but they made this game called Smugglecraft, which was a sort of like procedurally generated racing battle style game. It was really cool. So you get like a randomized spaceship and you race it through these procedurally generated courses, which was really a cool concept. So there was this little stage called the Let's Play stage where people were showcasing their games, like indie devs were showcasing their games, and every time we had gone by it before during the day, and not to sound, you know, like cocky or anything like that, or douchebaggy, but, you know, there was only like 5 to 7 people maybe sitting in the crowd watching like these devs like show off like the assets of their games. And it wasn't the devs' fault and it wasn't the game's fault, because the games that were there at Indy PopCon were really cool. All the games that were showcased there, I was like, oh, I wish I had time to play those, but my schedule was so tight I didn't have a chance to, that sounds weird to say aloud, because it honestly was the first time I've ever been so busy at a con I couldn't check out the games I wanted to. But so what happened was, yeah, we got up on stage because these devs for Smugglecraft were like, yeah, let's switch it up. Let's flip the formula on its head, and instead of having the devs play the game, let's have real players play the game. So they knew we were Let's Players, and they had actually reached out to us via email before, and they grabbed us and they had us on stage, and we did live commentary, which was really just, it was goofy to do. It felt like we were doing a live stream with like an actual like interactive audience in front of us. So we did that, and that was so awesome to do. And when we did it, we had like, I think it was around, like Ethan said he counted like 50 people like came to watch us, like, and some of them rotated in and out, and we had audience participation. The devs would bring volunteers from the audience up on stage to battle us in the game, and if they won, they like won a game poster, and it was like a really interactive, cool way to do it. But we like filled up all the seats there more or less, and it was really awesome to see that happen. Like to know that our influence to some degree helped that dev get more attention to their game. I wish we could have done it for all of them, honestly. Like I said, all the games were really cool. All the devs that showed up, if you guys are, any of you are watching it for any reason, your games looked awesome, and I would love press copies of those. Just, you know, hint, hint, wink, wink. But yeah, so we did that, and then we did the signing, and then straight from the signing, we had to go to our panel. I'm pretty sure, no, or we did the meetup, but then we did a panel, so we were just running all over the place. And we went to the panel, and that was in the small panel room, where before, like, we were getting a little nervous because we had walked by it a few times during the day while other panels were going on, and like the door to the panel was open, and there was like, you know, 10 people inside. And the room was fairly big, like it had a lot of chairs, like a ton of chairs. And so we were like really worried that no one was gonna show up. We were like, oh yeah, we'll probably have a crowd that size, like maybe 15 people, 20 people, like enough to fill up like 1 or 2 rows of the room, and that was it. So we went to the panel room, and before the panel had even started, like it was the tail end of the panel before us, there were people waiting for our panel in the hallway. Like they had formed a line to see us, and like that was so crazy. Like we walked up and they were waiting for us, and they were like, hello, hey, what's up Girbeagly, what's up OG-chan, what's up Crank, like when's your panel starting? And I just, I don't know, it was so cool to see that. So we got into the room and immediately half the room filled up. Like before our panel even started, half the room filled up. And we were like, wow, this is way more people than we thought were going to be here. And as soon as we said that aloud, more and more and more people started just cycling into the room. There were so many people coming into the room, and they just didn't stop until the room was completely full. And I don't know if this was correct or not, but Ethan did like a little bit of math in his head, and by looking at like his own footage from the panel, and apparently we had somewhere in the realm of 150 people in that room at one point. And like some of them had to leave like partway through because they were trying to catch like Ninja Sex Party's panel and other things like that. But the fact that we had like at our peak like 150 people in that room sitting down, all eyes on me, on Ethan, on G, on M from MS Arcade who did the panel with us. That was insane. And not only was it insane, but like the people who were there loved what was going on. Like we were like, we don't know what the hell to talk about, so we're just gonna do like a quick Q&A, and people had like specific questions for us. And by the way, for those of you guys who weren't at Indy PopCon or were unable to make the panel for whatever reason, I believe G is uploading it in full on his channel at some point, so I'll leave a link down to G's channel. I'm gonna leave a link down to his channel anyway down below in the description, but keep an eye on his channel for the panel if you guys want to check it out. But it was so crazy. It was so nuts to see that many people staring back at us and laughing at our jokes live. That was the other crazy part, was like the laughter. Like it filled up the room. When one of us would tell a joke or tell a silly story, everyone would laugh. And to hear that live, like that's incredible. Like I was saying before, there's only so much you can sort of derive from like a YouTube comment. I'll put out a video that I think is kind of funny and that other people think is funny, and they'll say something like, hey, was laughing my ass off during this. And you can read that and go, oh, you know, I bet they weren't really laughing that hard, but, you know, they wanted to tell me that they did think it was funny. But to say something live and to have people react in that moment live and laugh and, like I said, fill that room with the sound of laughter, like that was overwhelming. That was so cool to know that like just us being there up on stage acting like ourselves was enough to entertain people to that degree. That was so awesome. And I'll never forget that experience. The panel went great. We were so happy. And afterwards we were like, you know what? We got a couple more posters left over. We're going to do like an impromptu like meet and greet signing type thing. Just thinking like, you know, maybe like a tenth of the room would follow us out to that to do that. And the whole room followed us out. It was crazy. Like everyone in the panel followed us out. There were like people coming up to us being like, you guys got to like move your crowd and like form like a real line, and which wrapped all the way around the hallway. Like, because we were blocking traffic. We were blocking other rooms and stuff like that. That is crazy. Like, why did that happen? Like, that's so nuts. So we signed a whole bunch more posters and took a lot more pictures and talked to people. And there were people who came up and were like, I didn't know who you guys were before the panel, but give me your YouTube channels because I want to check you out. And that was so cool to have as well. Like, to have the familiar faces mixed in with new people who were genuinely interested in who we are. That is so awesome. So we did that, and then afterwards I was so tired. We went out to dinner with like Matt and Ashley and hung out with a bunch of people at night. So that was the end of Saturday. But like I said, that was just one of those situations that was beyond amazing for me. And I know it was beyond amazing for G and Ethan and M and everyone else who was involved. Thank you guys so much for your support and your friendship. It just meant the world to me. But anyway, so I rambled about Saturday for a long time. Sunday was pretty quick overall. We did another meet and greet, and then we got to do this charity event called Endless Dungeon, which was a traditional tabletop RPG. Now, I haven't played a tabletop RPG in like 15 years. Like the last time I did it, I was like in high school or something like that. So I was really rusty. Ethan had never played one before. G had never played one before. But we had agreed to go on this thing because we had been contacted for a charity event. So the entire point point of it was we would go up on stage and we would get these RPG characters, like goofy ones. Like I got to be like Daxter from Jak and Daxter on PS2. Ethan was Harley Quinn from Batman, and G was Aladdin from, obviously, Aladdin. So it was like these goofy characters that were pre-built for us, and we got on a stage, and basically it was audience participation. So members of the crowd could donate money to have us undergo a certain scenario or fight a certain monster or, you know, get a weapon to our benefit, so they could help or hinder us based on their donations, which was a really cool concept. And then on top of that, there was a live person, a live artist drawing, and she was drawing scenarios from what we were doing up there. So there would be like a picture of us fighting a boss, and me as like Daxter, and like Ethan as Harley Quinn, and G as Aladdin, and it was just so cool, like these little compilations. And then they would auction them off, like do like a live auction during the game, which was very cool. I thought that was an awesome concept, and people would buy them. And most of the things, before we, you know, came into the room, and once again, not to be like a pretentious dick or anything like that, but like to feel like we had this impact on the charity was amazing. But most of the drawings would go for like $5 to like $10 maybe. We got up there, and I don't even know like what happened. Like all of the art we had went for like at least $15, and one of the pieces went for $70. Like it got, like there was this big huge bidding war that went off, and it was $70 freaking dollars. It was nuts. We were like, what? We just like raised $70 for this charity in one picture because we were idiots on stage who didn't even know how to play the game right. Like it was really, really cool. It was very fun. And it was a surreal experience, once again, to have like people show up and sit down, because we did it for like 2 hours or something like that, and to have people sit there for the entirety of that and like laugh at us and cheer us on, and like I had to sing during it. Like you guys will probably see some footage of that in the real vlogs, but it was so cool. I'm so blown away. And speaking of real vlogs, guys, by the way, I do have vlog footage. I didn't take as much as I wanted to. I didn't take as many pictures as I wanted to either. But I'll have those up as separate videos here on the channel later in the week, so that you guys hopefully will enjoy those. But yeah, what an amazing experience. Like we got to see so many friends, we got to meet so many fans. I got gifts, like I'll show you guys all the gifts I got. Like I got like a ton of stuff. Like I got like Birdie Bots beans that Morgan and I are gonna eat on camera. I got like a pass from the Smugglecraft people to get like a free game. I got this cool Korean phraseology book, like Korean to English dictionary. This is awesome. This is going to be amazing for the Girbeagly series. I'm so looking forward to doing that. And then we have like, I mean, this is my Indy PopCon. I just have like this stack of shit over here. Not shit, like you guys gave me some cool stuff. Oh, this is my PopCon pass. Like that's my media badge. Like that's really cool. I got to meet up with one of my favorite artists on Twitter and YouTube named Ansta. Those of you guys who know Ansta Monsta, she does a lot of like the official gear and merch and art for Ninja Sex Party and Game Grumps. But she, like I met her in person, and she was like, oh yeah, you're Girbeagly, like I've been waiting to give this to you. And she gave me this. It's like a limited print of like Ninja Sex Party, which is really freaking cool. Actually, quick side story, I know this video is really long, but some kid apparently tried to steal this. Like I had Ethan watching this for me, and he put it down and he turned his back, and some kid just like ran by and like snatched it and like walked away with it. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And I was like livid. I was so mad. And then all of a sudden this old guy comes over, not really old, like middle-aged guy comes over, and he's like, yeah, I think this is yours. My son took it. And I was like, yeah, he did. Thank you. like what? I don't know. But at least we got it back, and the dad was very apologetic, which was really nice. But yeah, so I got that. That was really cool. And then I got like legit fan art from people. Like I got real fan art from some of you, which is so cool. Actually, I'm missing a piece of it. I'm gonna grab it here in a second. Okay, so I found it. So I got this drawing, which is amazing. This is like the coolest thing ever. Like to have fan art sent to me on the internet, I like explode every time it happens. I'm like, this is so awesome. Someone spent time to draw me, my stupid ugly mug. And then to have them hand it to me in person, totally different experience. How freaking cool. Like I got this too. It's a Girbeagly badge. Like how freaking cool. That's a direct reference to my stupid channel. Like oh my god. Like that... I'm sorry guys, like I said, I'm exhausted from traveling, I'm overwhelmed with emotion right now, everything is so cool. And then also I got an Overwatch Widowmaker, because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Overwatch. I got an Overwatch Widowmaker, and then last but not least, I got Gur! I got a freaking Gur backpack. Like, I wore this dude around, like, the day I got him. Like, I wore this for, I don't know, 10 hours or something like that, because it was so cool, and I was so happy to get Gur, because Gur, like in Girbeagly, like, that's the reason that's in my name. So, like, thank you guys. Like, getting physical gifts, I didn't expect it to happen, and just thank you guys so much. I also got a bottle of wine that was made by Brie. Like, that was really cool too. Like, that was my adult gift, and that was very, very awesome. Like, I don't know, there's so many great things that happen, and I'm sorry if I've left anyone out, but like, to see people in person was enough for me. For people to buy me gifts, to like care about me enough to buy me gifts, that was over the top for me, and I'm already so overwhelmed just talking about it all, guys. I love this community, and it's not just because you buy me things, it's not just because you come and you know, fangasm over meeting me, like, ask for my autograph and ask for a picture. Like, it's not even just that, it's the fact that there is this sense of friendly community at any given time within this community, within the Girbeagly community, that I have spent a lot of time trying to foster, and it means the world to me that translates to real life, that you guys are willing to travel, pay money for like a plane ticket and a hotel, and just spend time talking to me. Like, that's crazy. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Like, I'm so reinvigorated. I'm so ready to bring a bunch of great new content to the channel. I had this awesome talk on Sunday night before everyone left with Wade, Lord Minion 777, our friend Tyler. Many of you guys know Tyler, and then Ethan. We were all standing around in a hotel lobby. Well, it wasn't a lobby, regardless. So we were standing around in a hotel, and we had this like 2-hour-long conversation about YouTube in general, and, you know, connecting with our audiences and the impact we can potentially have. And it's so surreal, and it's so awesome, and I never want to stop doing this. I want to just keep going to these types of events, and I want to keep making content for you guys, and I just want this to keep going, this awesome feeling of knowing that we're all connecting on this emotional level in a great way, and I truly am entertaining in some kind of way for you guys. I love that, and I love that you guys are so supportive and great. But I've rambled long enough. Like I said, I didn't expect this video to be so long. I'm so sorry it's like close to half an hour. But for those of you who are interested in the actual footage from the con, I will have that up at some point this week, like I said. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I've kind of lost my voice from just talking all weekend, and then just this tirade of brain diarrhea that's just happened. But thank you guys so much. I love you all so much. I know I say that at the end of every video, but I really do mean it. I love you guys. I do. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please be sure to hit the like button, share the video, and favorite it. Also, be sure to subscribe to me if you guys haven't already. For those of you who have, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the best in the world. I love every single one of you. And as always, it was great seeing ya. Bye-bye.